You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, I got to tell you, I'm not sure I've seen a take by anybody torpedo so fast in all of my life. And what I'm referring to is Nafesia Collier referring to Unrivaled, her co-founded, her co-owned professional women's basketball league that, no matter how you cut it, is a competitor to the WNBA. On scale, no, but it's pro basketball and it employs WNBA players. That would be what I would call a competitor and a conflict of interest. Slowly but surely, you're getting trickles of people calling that out. But still, I mean, the ones that cover this the most, they're scared to death. And they continue to be a propaganda machine for women's basketball. Come on, you got to call balls and strikes. You do. You got to be fair. So, once again, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're still subscribed. The whole 9 yards. Follow me on Twitter at Rhodes Rants. Okay, so Unrivaled. Two things have happened. Two things that we predicted. Two things that most every creator out there predicted, across the board. But the mainstream media wouldn't touch. And that's the idea that Unrivaled was going to the idea that Unrivaled was going to actually be a bargaining piece here. And what I mean is, oh, look at us. We've got Unrivaled. We don't need the WNBA. We don't need to sign a CBA. To the point that Nafesia Collier literally made these absurd comments the other day, right before the deadline ran out. Being on the side with Unrivaled, I know what it takes to run a sustainable business. So I think if they find a model that makes that happen, they need to put people in place who can. And of course, the buzzword, the word that everybody really paid attention to was sustainable, which garnered a reaction from me and so many other sports fans going, wait, your ratings weren't great last year. There's now just 1,000 people in the stands. I mean, last year you only had 850. What part of this is supposed to be the sustainable model? And why on earth would you consider a league this small and this, I mean, let's be honest, this backyard wrestling, not that I've got anything against wrestling. You guys know I love it. Our backyard wrestling, but nonetheless, you're comparing Major League Baseball to single A baseball. That's kind of what's going on here, right? There's levels to this shit, as somebody used to say. So we got Breanna Stewart. She's had to literally come out and address bad ratings. The new ratings are out for Unrivaled from last Friday, and holy shit, they're bad. Now, did anybody expect any of these ratings to be WNBA-like? No, of course not. They never was going to be. But the epic drop-off in ratings at this point, look, we covered the ratings for Unrivaled last year. And they were bad then, but at least there were a lot of there were a lot of 140,000 viewers, 170,000 viewers, 190,000 viewers, maybe a 200,000 viewer. This is a titanic drop-off. So this was last Friday, right? Unrivaled, Breeze versus Hive. They did a .03 in the 18 to 49 demographic. That's the advertising demographic. That's 30,000 people, folks, on both games. Both games. And then you did 110,000 on one and 100,000 on another. 0.11, 0.10. Boy, that's bad. Boy, that's dog shit. That's not, you know what that's not? That's not sustainable. You know what this isn't? Leverage. This is not leverage at all. This is not leverage. So literally, Breonna Stewart had to come out. She actually made comments about this. Nobody has been more attached to Unrivaled than New York Liberty star Breonna Stewart, who is a co-founder of the league, along with Collier, and a VP on the Players Union Committee. Unexplainable, folks. And she recently spoke about these ratings. Not these ratings. To my knowledge, she was speaking about the premier ratings, which were trash, but were better than these. Yeah. She recently spoke about the ratings, which were conveyed in a January 11th article from Madeline Kinney of the New York Post. Quote, obviously we want them to be consistently high, no matter if we play on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. And know that we have a space on our own here and in the league of sports, Stewart said. People aren't typically used to seeing women's professional basketball at this time of the year unless you're watching EuroLeague or something like that. So ratings is a huge one. Yeah. Look, in other words, Unrivaled success may come down to the sequel's viewership. Well, it always does. We talk about it all the time on this channel. Everybody brings up, and look, the WNBA's increase in merch sales and all that's great. But the one piece the WNBA never had was a media rights deal of any note. And they do have that now. And that's where some profitability is going to come, provided that players don't blow it. They've already shown that they may be way too greedy in all this. I mean, what's the point of a new media rights deal if you're going to price out of it and still lose money? You just don't make the deal. I think these ratings are big. And they're big in the aspect of maybe we get these two, Collier and Stewart, to shut the bleep up when it comes to the CBA. This being an alternative product, sustainable. Oh, look at us. Well, if we don't get it done, you can always come over here and play. Yeah, unless you're not in business. If you're not in business, nobody's playing anywhere. I mean, that's the thing. There's no alternative. If there's no league to come play, and look, these two games, what's even worse, these two games were on actual TNT. Not true TV, actual TNT. The NBA pregame or post-game show, whatever that is, got 50,000 more viewers than an actual game. Than actual games. This is disastrous for the greed of the players trying to thwart away all of this new money that the owners are trying to give them. I told you guys, this league wasn't going to work out. And when the likes of, look, when Angel Reese decided she wasn't going, because look, this was a league that I will say this, her fans flocked to watch with her playing. She didn't bother to play. And I noticed that. Right away, I was like, oh, Angel's not playing? So that core group, that core almost Shadur Sanders-like group of fans aren't going to be there. Paige Beckers propping up the league. Boy, you're finding out she is zero draw. She is a zero draw. Tell me what you think. Can you and let's be real. Caitlin Clark was playing right now. Ratings be like 800,000, a million. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.